We got a last minute ad. Hey, guess who's here today? Young Daggs in the building. Say what up.
What's good? That shit was hype. I felt like I was about to run out of the tunnel right there.
Young Daggs in the building.
Get it.
I was chilling with Daggs poolside this evening, and I said I had to go do the podcast, and he was like, "You guys got anyone on that?" And I was like, "No, you trying to?" And he was like, "Yeah." And that's how this happened.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah, there's really nothing to
That's
that.
really profound.
Yeah. Got to let him know how it came about. Got to make an excuse before we have nothing to talk about.
That's real. All right. So I'm thinking we talk about golf games first, since that seems to be on the mind.
We've been playing a lot of golf the last couple of days.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm just gonna jump right at it. I'm playing sweet right now.
Oh, yeah.
You and Packy both. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not.
I went out there with Mo today. Epic finish. Mo was up, going into 16, up by 1.
Ooh.
I made a nice 15-foot birdie. He 3-jacked from like 50 feet. I took the lead by 1. 17, made a nice 10-footer to stay up 1. So I'm up on going into 18. Missed the green. Moe-T hits it like 25 feet away. I chip it to like 3 feet, so I'm thinking I'm pretty safe. He drains it to tie me.
Just like that. I think that sound even.
What did we shoot? 77?
Yep.
That's a good round
That's
for us.
crazy.
I'm happy with that.
Yep.
That's a fun day.
It was.
When you and just your partner get to have a
Yeah.
battle, and
yeah.
it's a good battle. It's
Yeah.
not like 290.
And there was no one out there. We finished in 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's the way to do it.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played that quick all year.
You've done other things that quick.
Knew that?
Bunch of shit.
And I'm not talking about make a beat.
I told myself I wouldn't get pissed this early in the podcast.
How you feeling about your golf game, Daggs?
Not great yet, to be honest. I've played a lot.
For context, Daggs picked up the game much later than Mo and I.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it more this year because I feel like the ceiling's higher, but I don't think I've quite put together things yet to really start enjoying it. But I've played a lot already, and that's been nice. And whatever, it'll come. Just gotta keep playing.
You're definitely, I can speak for someone that's seen you play every summer for the last few summers, and you are definitely improved. Much more consistent shooting. Yeah. You're pretty consistently in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good golf, man. Like I've told you today, you play with guys that have played a lot of golf, like grew up with golf, so you comparing yourself to these people, but you look at average Joe Schmo out there on the golf course, if you're in the 90s, you're a good golfer.
Well, yeah, that's better than most.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goal this summer is to be in the 80, like the upper 80s most times that I play. That'd be my goal, I would say, to finish the year. So we'll see. I enjoy the game, and it's a challenge, and I like the mental side of the game. There's a lot to that and stuff. So
do you find it difficult golfing? Do your biceps get in the way when you swing?
my titties getting.
Because I know you're big into the gym.
Yeah. No.
For the fans, if they follow you on social media, they know that's your thing.
For real though, I worked with a coach, a kid I went to high school with. That's a coach at Eagle Eye now. I worked with him for like 15 weeks this winter, and he got me kind of into stretching. I know I commented on that on my IG one time, but I've like made stretching a part of my day now, and foam rolling and stuff like that. So and it was because of golf originally, and now I just kind of enjoy it, but it's made a huge difference. And with my body and my makeup, as far as like all the surgeries and stuff, I'm tighter to begin with. So having some of that, extra mobility has made a huge difference, and not just golf, just like everyday life stuff.
I believe that shit.
Yeah, so
I just lifted legs the other day, and my hamstrings feel like they're gonna burst.
yeah, that shit does. Legs suck. Fuck legs.
Yeah.
Fuck legs.
Moe-T, you been lifting at all?
Yep, all day, every day, 24/7. 365. Can't you tell?
Yes.
Those 12-ounce curls.
No, not even that.
Try water out once in a while.
All right. Well, I guess
Never.
let me start with this because I haven't asked you yet, and you claimed it to be false. But I woke up. I think it was I woke up today, and I saw you tweet #2, and then a little bit later from the Specktators account, there was a tweet in reply that said "dose?" ? And since you and I are the only ones with access to the Specktators account, and I never tweet from it, I assumed you were responding to yourself, and you said false. So I'd like to get your.
You're just gonna call me out on that?
Well, you said false.
Like, come on, man.
It's Twitter, so
You could have just been like,
But no one knows that I'm the only one with Specktators access.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
who do they think has access?
Well, now they won't.
Who do they think has access?
I've been asked that if I'm the one that tweets from the Specktators
Because people know.
It's me.
They could have been.
No.
I run the Spectators.
Moe-T runs the Specktators account.
Well, now I'm not going to do that anymore. Thanks for ruining my fun.
Do you want to restart the podcast?
Yes.
I'll run
I
a
do.
tunnel again. That shit was hype.
You should have just left my, if you wanted it to remain in steeped in mystery, you should have just left my tweet alone, but you had to come out and say false, and I'd let you know we were going to discuss this on the podcast. I thought you'd have something ready for me.
Well, it was false that I was drunk at that point.
Oh.
So, but it was true that I discussed it with myself.
Literally, no one was home. He just had.
Well, Bruce was tweeting about the parlay, and I was just like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
saw
this is getting me in my reminiscing feel." So then I just tweeted out that hashtag in response to his tweet.
So you're just
not thinking that everybody would like.
So you're just trying to get the fans hyped for no reason now?
Yeah. Well, now they want us to talk about it, and I'm not doing that.
I'd like to talk about it.
You can't handle the truth.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not ready to talk about that.
Alright, fine, fuck.
Well, what else you got?
Is that it for you?
That's all I was going to come here to talk about.
Calling me out on being drunk. That's it.
Oh, I did. So we talked about last week that Spotify thing. I don't know if you heard any of that, like how they pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't remember what I was watching, but I was watching something that made me change my mind on it just a little bit. I didn't like change any big perspectives on it. I still think it's like Spotify's a business. They're not pulling these artists down from the website or the app. They're just not promoting them on their playlists. So that's their prerogative. My thing is, the thing I've changed my opinion on is, or just adjusted is, I don't think they should have a policy on paper like that hate policy that they disguise this whole thing under. I think that's stupid because it does open Pandora's box to, oh, this person's taken down, but not this person and not this person. Because there's so many shitty people that you could take down from all these playlists.
Wasn't that what we were already saying anyway?
Well, no, because we never specified anything about the policy. I'm just saying, you're a business. Don't put these people on your playlist if you don't want to. You don't have to come out with some special policy. Just don't put them on there.
Well, did you guys touch on, I don't know, because I used to listen to your podcast on my Monday workout, and now you guys
Now that we changed the day.
Anyway, did you touch on, like, these people have charges in real life, and many people have charges in real life, but, like, the actual context of what these people, not just the guys that got kicked off, but what they're actually talking about? Like, people were trying to debate, like, where do you draw the line of
We didn't really get into
bad
that.
content?
Yeah, we didn't
you know
really
what
get
I'm
into
saying?
that. But that's a good point. That's what I'm saying is
So,
like,
yeah, like what's the rule?
Eminem's one of the biggest artists in the world. He has literally years of talking about like raping women on tracks.
Exactly.
You want to know why they had to do a policy though?
Why?
It's because they're getting into the record label business.
But that's where I was gonna go with
Oh.
it. I'm
yeah.
saying like, yeah,
you
so-
can't just not include somebody
but-
that's
and that's what's so
super popular
that's what's-
without having a policy
That's
for these
what's
record
so
labels.
annoying
Like, that's
is
it.
like
That's real.
you just want there to be, as independent artists, you want there to be a platform so bad that is just like, we have these playlists and we put cool music on it. But that's not what it is.
with
there's
what it used to be.
There's behind the scenes, this guy is associated and has the connects to get on these playlists, and has whatever backdoor deals, whatever it is, to get on all these playlists. And so if he puts out a new song, it better go up on these playlists. That's label shit. That's not organic playlist shit.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why they have
that's
to have
how
the
the world
policy.
works, though.
But I
that's the reason why half of these dudes are famous anyway.
But I just feel like this policy just opens up a whole world.
Yeah, it's
of,
a slippery
But
slope.
Spotify's a new radio.
especially because these guys, they like Tentacion, from what I'm aware of, even though it sounds like he's just a fucked up dude, it's all charges. Like, he hasn't been convicted of a lot of this stuff. And so, not that I'm out here vouching for him, I'm just saying that's a slippery slope when you got guys that have been convicted of fucked up shit on your playlists, like older guys.
I forget, what was it actually stated in their policy, that it was actions by the artist, or was it that the musical content of the song?
I don't remember, but either way,
No, I don't think it was. I don't know, I guess, but I don't think it was musical content, but that's what people like on the news that were covering this shit were like.
So it was
people
based on their
talked
actions.
Yeah, like having things in real life that are bad versus just talking about them on
That's what it
songs.
seemed like to me.
But then they were trying to figure out, where in these policies, like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, see, I couldn't remember whether or not it
It
was.
seemed like with the guys they were targeting, it's real life shit, not song shit. But either way, it's just like,
Well, either way, like
Either way.
every music artist in any genre has charges. A
Yes,
lot of them.
yes,
Like
yes.
country
Especially
artists have
hip-hop.
hella charges and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so
Like,
where
for
does it
real.
stop?
Yeah. So how the fuck do you figure that?
I'm interested to see where that goes, because as much as I would never like vouch for these guys, like from an independent perspective, don't promote these guys. Good for you, Spotify. But when they want to get into the label world of, whatever behind the scenes deals and money and whatever is exchanging hands to promote these artists, you can't just, that shit sprayed like a.
Did it?
Yeah. But that's a slippery slope. That's all I'm saying. What's funny?
That shit.
No,
Labatt, Blue Light.
that whole
The freshest.
that whole policy really pisses me off. And
It just
it's
seems-
mainly for the sake of like,
Seems too wide open.
Yes. It's not specific enough.
Yeah. Just like anything, literally anything in life, like any rule in life, like you have to narrow that shit down super, because
or else it's not a rule.
Everybody's gonna find,
or else it's based on feeling. It's how Spotify feels.
I think like the more this goes on, the more I'm on the side of it was just a blatant PR move by Spotify.
That's kind of what it seems like.
Let's get on people's good graces by saying these people that
Exactly.
universally everyone knows are kind of like fucked up people. Let's just do this because it'll get us good PR. But in reality, to execute that policy is absurd.
Seems,
You're
yeah,
really
it
getting
seems like
aggressive
there's
with
way
that.
too many paths.
Aggressive with what?
I thought you were spilling on the. Oh, that's
It's just
just the
sweating.
condensation. I got it.
Sweating.
Well, I couldn't see based on the angle that you were holding that. So what do you guys think about the Moe-T? What do you guys think about the Kendrick Lamar pulling up that white girl and she's saying the N-word?
I wrote that down as a topic,
I
and
didn't see that shit.
then like I was gonna actually research it and maybe do a deep dive on it.
Oh,
And
I deep dive.
did you
on
good?
it.
And I was gonna see if Q wanted to come on the podcast, because I feel weird even talking about that stuff with
I don't
like
feel weird.
2 or 3 white guys. Like,
I don't.
and then when Daggs came up, I was like, let's just avoid it. But you brought it up. Okay, so you haven't seen it. Basically, in a nutshell, Kendrick Lamar was at a big show, festival, whatever, doing Mad City, I believe.
Doesn't this happen every fucking time he performs Mad City?
Yeah,
I don't know.
he
Didn't
brings
this shit
somebody up.
happen at like one of the bowl game, and like everybody was chanting that shit in the crowd, and like the whole crowd was like,
Oh, it could be.
Oh,
this,
yeah, the
this
crowd,
One was
yeah.
he brought
He brought
a
somebody
white girl.
on
"Oh yeah,
stage.
all right."
He brought a white girl up on stage, and
see.
she was rapping. And
He gave her a mic.
and he wasn't rap, just her. And she said every N-word out loud, and he stopped it, and he was like, "You gotta like bleep a certain word, and like should she stay
You can
up
say
here?
every word but one.
Yeah, and should she stay up here and blah 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 and whatever." And then Variety wrote this article about it, and the article, from what I read, leaned a little bit toward, or a lot toward, Kendrick needs to, like, it leaned a little bit toward everyone should be able to, if you can use the word.
That Variety article went a little too far.
That Variety article was trash.
That was way too far.
That was trash.
On the opposite.
But let's forget the Variety article then, and let's just talk about the actual.
Well, because there is a happy medium in all this. Like, I don't know why everybody's got to go to one extreme or the other. Like,
well, you said you had a deep dive on it. Let's hear it.
There is, and there's an argument on both sides. And the bottom, okay, so obviously, like, we all know the white people shouldn't say the N-word argument.
Of
like,
course.
everybody is in agreement with that. Like, there's no reason not to be.
Right.
Just in the general sense of discussion, like, I can't just say that shit. Like, that's not
right.
That's not my position to like be saying that.
Right.
My opinion skews a little bit when not only do you have a song that you are benefiting from white girls buying, first of all, second of all, you bring them on stage.
Yeah.
Like, dude, first of all, like, okay, she had the choice to not say it, and I get that.
Right.
But at the second, like, dude, we sing these songs in our cars, like even in our heads. We're not even like saying it. And it's literally just implanted into our heads because of the lyrics that you made. So she's allowed to fuck up and say it in that happenstance. And if you don't want that to happen, you don't bring her on stage. And that's it.
Okay, you said something that's confusing to me though. You said she's allowed to fuck up and say it.
If it actually was a fuck up.
That's what I'm saying. You're not,
and I think that it was.
Are you?
If you watch the video,
wait, let me just get my thought out.
Yeah.
You're saying it's a fuck up though. Like you're saying she shouldn't do it.
But
you're just saying she shouldn't be crucified for it.
Yeah, because it was literally she was so excited to be.
But
on
is that
stage.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I would tend to agree with you to an extent. Where I stand on it is 100%. A white person should never say the N-word. Period.
Yeah.
You should know as a white person to not, especially in a massive public situation, to not say it.
Yeah.
Now,
she's standing in front of like
a teenage girl who's a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, who loves his music,
not a performer,
gets pulled up on stage and hears this song and is supposed to recite it. And like you said, she's saying it in her head all these years. Okay, if she slips up and says it, I agree with you. I don't think she should be crucified for it. It doesn't make her a racist. It doesn't whatever.
No.
But it is a fuck up that she shouldn't do. I also think it's a fuck up by Kendrick to bring a white girl on stage to sing that song.
I think that's shitty of
Why
Kendrick.
the fuck are you having people, white people,
that song?
Yeah.
Because okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Because I'm gonna take it a step further. I think that it's really shitty of Kendrick Lamar to do that. And because of the fact that you cannot tell me that he is not looking for that to happen so that he can call it out and it can be this whole thing during a show.
That's a good point. Because I'm sure he could have grabbed a black person to do that
easily.
Yeah. And I guess I'm glad we're focused on that specific instance because like the Variety article and like all the other like deep dive extra stuff is like they're going into the whole like, should black people be saying the N-word? Because when we're talking about like equality and all these things, there shouldn't be like a word that's off limit to whatever. My perspective is, who cares, man? If you're white and there's one word that you can't say that black people can say, it just is what it is, man. Like, relax. Like you don't need to make a big deal out of it.
We can get into the whole philosophical thing of that type of stuff. But in my thinking, I'm like, it's not that big. I don't feel the need to fucking say it.
Right.
So who cares?
Right. If like let black people do what they want to do with that word.
Yeah. If that's the way that it is, that's the way that it is.
But
I
yeah,
don't
that specific instance of the whole performance and on stage thing. It's a shitty situation. It does make you think about, I guess, the use of the N-word by these artists.
3 sides of that story. Really. Kendrick shouldn't have brought a young white girl on stage. That's the first time being in front of however many thousands of people.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're literally shitting your pants. Think about like your first show.
You're trying to remember
like
the lyrics.
30
Yeah, you're trying to not embarrass yourself in front of all these people.
Secondly, she should probably have the presence of mind to think about that prior to, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And thirdly, like, just fucking use your head, and probably, like, if you do accidentally say it, don't just keep fucking rapping the rest of the song and saying it like 100 more times.
That was what caught me though, is okay, not to be a dick, but she sounded like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into that, I guess. But what I heard from her after Kendrick called her out on it, she said something like, "Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry, whatever." Because in your head, the way she's rapping this shit, you're thinking she says this in her daily life when the song comes on. She's spitting this out loud around people. Like, that's the way it came across when she was doing it. Like it was nothing to her to say the N-word. But you also have the other side of that, of, like you said, you're up in front of thousands of people, you're just rapping this song. And if Kendrick would have called her out and she would have been like, "What? It's a song, like, come on," I would have been like,
Yeah, see, not, yeah.
But she said, like, "Oh, I said that, I'm sorry."
Right.
And that makes me think, like, you gotta let her slide.
And how old is this girl? Like,
Right, probably, I don't know, but I would have just assumed, like, a young fan, but
Think
I don't
of all
know.
the dumb shit. I mean, it's not an excuse, really, but
No, and I'm not trying to make excuses.
I'm just nervous.
I'm just saying that, like, dude, social media is so quick to, like,
Very
right.
quick.
Yeah.
like, I thought, based off of the video, like, and that's all we have to go off of. We can make assumptions as to who she is as
Yeah,
a person
yeah.
or whatever.
But that's what we
wrong.
shouldn't do. That's what we
that's
shouldn't do,
not
right?
that's not cool.
But that's what social media does. Someone does one thing in the public eye, and you put them in a fucked up box of who they are.
No, fuck that. And that was the whole reason why I put that on my topic list, is because I was just like, dude, yes, she did something wrong. And I could totally see it being just straight up a fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to psychoanalyze this shit to make it seem racist.
I wouldn't even be mad if, like, she's doing it on stage and the crowd starts booing or whatever because they're hearing it. Cool. Like, yeah, let her know.
Whatever.
Like, you shouldn't be doing that.
Whatever.
Like, wake her up. Whatever. But as far as, like, afterward being like, "You're a racist" or whatever.
yeah, get
no.
the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, I think I'm with you on that.
I've seen too many people get on stage that have never been on stage before, don't even know how to hold a mic or anything like that, and this is their artist.
Yeah.
Like, they paid lots of money to. She was in the fucking front row.
Yeah.
Like, how much money did she have to pay to
Yeah,
go
you're a
see that
big
show?
fan. Yeah.
Like, so she is psyched out of her mind. I guarantee you that's not even going through her head at that point.
Yeah.
Because she is so psyched to sing one of the songs that she knows every single word to with Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
You cannot fucking tell me that
Right.
she was super fucking scared to say no.
Was she wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should it be a big deal going forward? No.
No, it's a song. It's a song.
Have you did you hear anything about the YouTube music?
What do you mean? YouTube music?
You didn't hear about this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness.
They're starting.
I mean, that's.
YouTube has a music streaming app now.
Are you serious?
Swear to.
No, dude. They've had this for a long time.
Where did I find this thing? Did I find like a 2014 article?
This is not news.
What did I find?
Oh, that'd be great.
No.
YouTube music. Yes. It's been around for like probably a year and a half now.
All right, you go on to something else. I'm gonna find some information on this.
YouTube music launch. That's what I'm looking up. Here we go.
Dumbass.
Damn, that's what happens when you get faded before you come to the podcast, huh?
All right. So, let's see here. I'm trying not to find. Because they're in the news for something.
Oh yeah, probably YouTube Music.
No, it's been an app for a long time.
I know it's been a thing, but like that's why I figured you'd have the latest on it. I just wanted to throw it your way because, like I said, I got caught up today and like didn't end up doing any deep dives. But because I even heard something, someone I follow was talking about how YouTube Music was bad because they're not paying out the same thing as like Apple Music and Spotify. They're saying they're like fucking artists.
Well, I'm sure.
So it's strictly
Yeah, YouTube launches its long-awaited music app, November 12th, 2015.
Wow.
What's is it? What's this year?
Yeah.
But they are in the news. They they must have like redesigned it or something.
Yeah, there was some big deal about it.
Because I tried it when they first launched, and I thought it was garbage.
I kind of remember you doing that.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. All right, forget that topic then. Fuck me.
It says, for some reason, YouTube Music is getting a slow drip rollout today. That was 2 days ago.
To be fair, I don't know shit about YouTube Music.
I don't either, and that's why I thought they were just. It was
But this
a brand
looks
new thing.
this looks like the app that I tried like literally 2 years ago. I don't
Okay.
get why this is news.
Well, so I'm not crazy then. They did try to do like
No,
a relaunch or
there's
something.
tons of articles about it. I just like I don't know why this is news. I'm really confused.
All right, well, if we try to talk about this, we're gonna sound fucking stupid. 'Cause none of us knows anything about it. So let's just move
Well,
on.
there's another article right at the top of Google that says YouTube launches its long-awaited from TechCrunch awaited music app, November 12th, 2015. And then it's among news articles that got released like a week ago.
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
It's weird.
Tech company.
So anybody that knows anything about this, comment in the description
Let us
because I want to know. It literally looks the same, like the same exact thing that I've used before.
Yeah,
And
I
thought
just
it was
wrote it in
wild.
my notes when it came up, and I think I got caught up with something else, and I just figured you would know about it. So I was like, well,
No, I have no idea.
okay, well,
I
fuck
have
me.
no clue.
Next.
Next topic.
NFL crackdown on the anthem
Yeah. Okay.
protest?
So what did they determine that they're doing now? You're allowed to stay in the locker room, but
But if you kneel,
if you
it's
want
a penalty.
if you want to come out, you have to stand. I think that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, is that? I didn't even get that far. No.
I think that's what it is. Honestly, to be completely honest, I heard about it and I didn't even look into it too
I
much
didn't look
because
into
I'm
it too
just
much either.
so sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
I just don't give a shit. Like, I don't know why they give such a shit about this. Like, let these dudes do what they want. Like, they think it's for a cause, and it is.
Yes.
It's for something. It means something to them. It's not, as everyone knows, it's not affecting anybody. Nothing is happening to the game from this. I feel like staying in the locker room is worse than doing something on the field.
That's what
You know
I
I'm
can't
saying?
figure out is they seem, and I would think like you got these billionaire owners who have known for making money in their lives who are claiming that this shit is affecting their bottom line. Which
It's been proven to be affecting NFL ratings.
So yeah, it makes me believe that it probably is if they think that. But along the lines of what Daggs is saying, I would think, like, let's say it even took a year. I would think if the NFL just took a year and just fucking went about their business and let the players do what they want, NFL, you do your thing, the shit would just calm down. But I guess that's okay. I guess maybe that's, as I say that out loud, maybe that's not true because the NFL isn't the media. And the media are the ones that are
Right, they're the ones that
they're the
are
ones in
fueling the
control.
fire.
They're
Yeah.
the ones in control of what actually becomes a big deal.
Right,
and
the
what doesn't.
NFL isn't doing shit.
That's what's starting to piss me off about professional sports in general. It's just a media circus. Every single thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about the game anymore at all.
No, it's not.
Anything on ESPN, the Sports Center, anything anymore, any of the channels is talking about all this bullshit outside the game.
Yeah.
And nothing has to do with the game anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you see highlights anymore? Hardly ever.
No. And that's
How
why.
long are the highlights? Like 20 seconds,
Yeah.
and then it's like a
Some drama
10-minute
of something.
segment of
yeah.
like an interview after the game talking about whatever the fuck. You
It's
know,
so stupid.
It's just dumb, and it's starting to.
We
piss
live in
me
the
off,
world
like,
of clickbait, dude.
straight up, and it's annoying, and it's making sport not fun to watch. Like, I enjoy games, like competition in general. I don't really care what it is, as long as there's a competitive aspect to it, and nothing is about a game anymore. It's all about the other shit surrounding it, and some of these things can be like important topics, but I mean, like, you're gonna spend an entire season
So
talking about shit.
This is and I'm just talking off top, so forgive me if I stumble over anything, but the whole kneeling for the anthem thing, okay? I completely support any player, like Daggs said, when I watch my sports, I want my sports. Like it doesn't matter to me about someone, and yeah, okay, easy to say as a white guy, whatever. It doesn't matter to me someone kneel, but it doesn't matter either way. Go ahead and kneel. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care. Like, do your thing.
Yeah.
And I'm never the guy that's like, you're an athlete, you just play a sport. No, you earned that spot. Use your pedestal to speak whatever message you want.
Stupid.
Yeah, like you earned that spot.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I mean by the media just makes everything so much bigger. Like, let them do these things. I don't care about that. But then, like, focus on the game. Once the game's happening, let's focus on the game and let's focus on that. Like, if these dudes want to do that to, you know, help raise awareness or whatever the correct term is, that's great. Like, I think they should do that. They should be entitled to do that. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. You want to know the fucked up thing, though, is that's 100% true. And the fucked up thing is, I don't think the NFL would care as much if the media wasn't doing that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
100%.
the NFL is a fucking business, dude.
Yeah.
And if it's affecting their ratings, they're going to try to do something that's the
thing. Like, this is not me.
These NFL players don't get paid unless the NFL makes money. So
Right. So I think you have a large portion of the country that, right or wrong, sees kneeling for the national anthem as disrespect to the country and the flag, right? Now,
Okay.
I am of the side because you hear, like, these guys kneel, even the way it started. So Kaepernick sat down. He literally talked to a member of the military, and the guy was like, well, even though he might not say I would do, like, I forget the guy's name, but whoever he was in the military was like, I'm not necessarily saying I support him doing this, but I recommended that he kneel. It's like more respectful, but still a form of protest. And Kaepernick did it because he's not out here trying to disrespect.
Right,
So I am on the side of the kneeling down was never meant to show disrespect to military, country, whatever.
But you want to know who didn't do the research? The media.
Right.
The people covering.
But there's a massive portion of the country that takes it that way.
Yeah,
no matter what they say, they're going to take it that way. And now our president took it that way, and so he affects more millions and millions of people. And so, bottom line, NFL is a business,
right?
And so these owners get together and they're like, "We got a problem. This shit is affecting our bottom line. Our fans, who are the people that support us,
right,
are not happy about this.
Yes.
So we have to do something about it." And it's a tricky situation. So like, I'm not saying either side is a bad guy. It is a tricky situation because you want to allow people to have the right to free speech and the right to protest and whatever, but you also, it's a business. This isn't the government. This is the NFL. It's a business.
No, if you want to point a finger at the media. That's pretty much it.
The media is the
you have
person to point the finger
I would
at
agree.
For everything.
Right.
Like, I don't like LeBron James because of the media.
Straight up.
that's
Straight
true.
Up, 100%. I don't like this.
Whether
because
it's
of
social media or actual media, both go into that.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. The media fucks.
I was listening to something, it might have been the Joe Budden podcast, and there was just like a random thing brought up about, would Michael Jordan be greater or less great if he lived in the social media age? Oh yeah, it was the Joe Budden podcast, because Joe Budden was like, no, he wouldn't be as great, and Maul was like, oh, he would be greater. I'm on Joe Budden's side.
Greater?
If Jordan, because he was like, you have the access to so many people and like all your hours in the gym, everything's just documented. Like, you can really get it out there. Where I disagree with that is, no, if you were Jordan, like when you were Jordan in that day and age, your shit was documented, like in commercials and sponsorships and whatever, and you were the only one.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, now LeBron has got like all this shit, but so does KD and so does Steph and so does whatever. And even these other guys have their own Instagram and Twitter.
It's all
accounts.
streamlined.
Like, Joel Embiid is cool because his Twitter pops off. Like, whatever. And Jordan, like, nobody's like the perfect person. The same reason we like don't like LeBron he's a great dude.
Yeah, for sure.
But we think he's corny sometimes and like just whacking
But
certain ways.
It gets
And
amplified.
But you don't know that with Jordan because you didn't get to see his thought every
He
2
didn't get
seconds on
amplified.
Twitter and whatever.
Oh,
like
No.
fucking goodness.
Jordan had a gambling problem. Like you think that wouldn't have been,
I think that's tight.
but you don't think there's a huge segment of the country that would have been like people just I don't know. I think the youth,
I agree with you though.
the social media stuff
Yeah,
makes
I
things
agree.
more difficult.
For sure.
Dude, I was watching this video and I had to take a step back as far as like, do you remember how news was reporting this whole NFL kneeling for the anthem thing first? Like when it first got reported?
Not
They
really.
fueled all that shit. They didn't do a backstory on how Kaepernick
Oh,
did
no.
all of that shit. It was just literally like disrespect of the flag. People kneeling. That's what it was headlined as.
Well, do you know what's crazy? If I remember correctly, it started in the preseason, and Kaepernick did it multiple games without anyone ever knowing.
Yeah.
And then finally, it took notice, and it was a shitstorm.
Yeah. And it was marketed in a way that got everyone pissed.
Yeah, but
Like,
but
Well,
imagine
goes
if
back
the-
to what he was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's marketed to get
Yeah.
clicks. Like, some
Imagine
people-
if the headline was Kaepernick kneels for the anthem because of this, this, and this.
Yeah. No.
Instead of
everyone would be like,
Kaepernick kneels, disrespect to the flag.
I don't know that that's how it was marketed.
Oh, it definitely was. I can show you a couple of clips from way back when.
On what?
I mean,
Fox
it wasn't
News?
necessarily
No. They're like
A lot
clips
of
from
them
all
are
of the news outlets.
marketed negatively, I would say.
Yeah, they all make money off of that. All of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tricky.
There's a
man.
lot of shit in there.
Honestly, I don't know what the answer is in the NFL because I'm a capitalist. Like I believe in that shit. So if I'm an owner of a team, people don't understand because they get so caught up in the NFL and I'm just used to having it. There is a person or a group of people that own a team.
Yes.
If
And there's a lot of money
if
at
I am
stake
one
for
of
this
these
shit.
owners, I have a right to do whatever I want with my
Yeah.
team.
And let's not forget.
And if you don't want to be a part of it, you can get off my
Right.
team.
Let's
It's
not forget.
business. It's not government.
But-
Like if I said that in a government perspective, that's not right. That's not like everyone has a right to whatever.
The government it's not a business. The government isn't supposed to be a business. The NFL is a business. And let's not forget, everyone likes to forget that the NFL is one of the most successful businesses in the world. So how did it get that way? Some of these policies must be working somehow. They're keeping themselves out of public scrutiny, all of this stuff. They do stuff calculated.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Well, the other question I have is what's the end game for these guys that are protesting? Now, I'm not saying that in some shitty way. I'm actually asking because I'm pretty sure there was a point where all the owners got together, I think, and put a large sum of money together to go toward these players' causes. A large sum of money.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
And
See, you guys are talking about too much shit that I don't have enough knowledge about, I guess.
well,
No, but you can have an opinion though. Like that's
but if
Yeah,
that's the
for
case,
sure.
and like I said, I'm not
because I don't have all
I
the
don't-
answers either.
and I don't know the amount of money it was, whatever. But that's why I'm genuinely asking, what is the end game? Because to me, that was a huge win for like Kaepernick and those guys. Like, and it proves like they went through a lot of scrutiny and they went through a lot of people telling them to stop, and they got through it, and finally
They accomplished
something really dope happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that's why I'm genuinely asking the question. Do you get to a point where you're like, we made a tremendous impact in the cause that we were going for. Let's not that I'm saying you forget the cause, but I'm saying this specific thing we're doing, let's say that was a massive win and let's move on to the next thing. Like, when does it stop, I guess? Because you're not just going to like solve racial inequality with that. And like I look at someone like Kaepernick who's gotten blackballed out of the business, and some of these other guys who might feel the same wrath. And I don't want that to happen. Kaepernick should be in the NFL. Like, but I also understand an owner not wanting him on your team. If he ain't going to be your starting quarterback, why would you want that shitstorm around your team?
But that's the problem with the whole thing. And without getting into like a philosophical like whatever, there is no endpoint because you can't. You literally. It's such a like broad. It's a broad idea. Like there is no end.
Yeah.
It's literally just like hey, we feel like we're being discriminated against until I feel that that's not happening anymore. This just keeps on going. There's no concrete like this needs to happen in order for
fair.
this.
Like, and I understand that perspective, but
the thing is, it goes back to what we were even talking about on some different topic. You cannot base a cause based on a feeling. Has to. No, you can. You can, but that's the business's perspective to put a stop to it because there's no end.
And that's what I'm saying. I understand both perspectives. I understand the perspective of we're being mistreated and I'm going to do this until I don't feel like we are.
Yeah.
But I also understand the perspective of I have this business to run and you're affecting my bottom line. If I don't need you, bye.
Right. But it's like saying, like, if I told you, I was just like, hey, I feel like you're being real mean to me. And until you stop being mean, I'm going to stop doing this podcast. Like, that doesn't give you any sort of like idea as to like how to fix it. Like, what needs to happen specifically in order to fix this?
No, I get that. But that's it's easy to look at one person and be like, do this to fix it. But it's
no. I'm saying that's like a minuscule example, but that's the best way that I can explain it is just because it's broad.
I'm over this topic because there is no like answer. There's no answer. It's
no, and I don't think that there will ever be an answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's so whack about it. Is it's just like I hope that this ends. Right. Like I really don't want any of this stuff.
I do think the one conclusion we can all agree on in this shit, and that I think isn't focused enough on because all we ever hear is the media, and the media is never going to come at themselves. So I think the one thing we can agree on is what's really fueling a lot of this fire and making it a worse thing than it is the media.
Yep.
Yeah. And until that stops, I really don't think any of this stuff gets fixed.
Yeah. That's real. All right. Do we have any like lighter topics? You know, we got we've been getting a little faded today. We got Daggs on the podcast. I wasn't expecting this. It was last minute, so I didn't come with any just fun topics.
Did you hear about Pusha T's album cover?
No.
And how Kanye spent $85,000 to buy the picture rights?
Is he back in debt now?
What is it?
It's a picture of Whitney Houston's bathroom counter covered in drugs.
That's tight, kind of low-key.
I think that's what the article said.
I was about to be a lot more pissed until you said covered in drugs. Not that I'm for that or against that, but but seriously, like these motherfuckers, these famous people are out of control.
$85,000 for a picture?
I'm with Daggs as in like that's cool, and I guess if you have that type of budget, word, and because
why wouldn't he just go cover some
that's
rant?
right. I was just gonna say, but that's what I was gonna say is if you have like you're Kanye West, so anything you do is gonna get the media attention. So word is gonna spread that you spent $85,000.
Media.
Yeah. Word is gonna spread that you spent $85,000 to get this authentic picture of Whitney Houston, and that makes it cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we decided to, like, let's say we spent $85,000 to get that picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be the dumbest thing of all time because we would just be having to be sitting here saying, yeah, I swear this is the authentic. We did it, blah, blah. Like no one else is going to verify that.
Does Kanye
shit.
need any more media like coverage as of right now?
No, I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying
Kanye's mind he does.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's about him needing it. I'm saying the fact that he gets it makes that dope.
Yeah.
Because he just does it and the media will spread that around like crazy and that makes it dope.
Yeah.
But if Joe Schmo does that shit, that's just a horrible investment.
Yeah.
Because you don't have media on your side to go spread the dopeness of that around. People just see it as an album cover.
Yeah, but it's hilarious that literally like a year ago, Kanye was tweeting that he's broke. So,
and
asking Mark Zuckerberg for money.
Who do you think has like, as an artist in general, I guess you could put this in any genre, but let's say hip hop just to narrow it down a little. Who do you think has the most iconic album covers like throughout their career?
That's a good question. Damn, I wish I would.
No one ever thinks about that shit because no one buys CDs anymore.
Yeah.
No.
But like when I used to buy CDs, like for my car in high school and shit, fucking Biggies are hard as fuck. Yeah, because that shit's on like t-shirts and stuff all the time. So yeah, Pox.
Before I look it up, I'm trying to like think of some
I know
stuff.
some. It's got to be somebody with a pretty big catalog.
And I personally picture some of them because they're dope. They're like dope to me, but are they really like iconic? Like the Biggie one is the one that jumps out the most to me.
Yeah, I agree. Which is funny because, I mean, obviously,
I think it's because other people have utilized that type of thing too.
Tupac debate and shit all the fucking time, and I would say, at least the people I know, more people side on Tupac's as far as like who they like better.
Really?
I'm a Biggie guy personally.
I feel like, see, that surprises me.
Don't what?
Yeah, that surprises me.
I was gonna say we
too.
don't need to get into like the whole.
No,
I'm not gonna
it
either.
surprises me that you would.
Because I
say
actually most people I know are on the Biggie side, and I would have pegged you for a Tupac.
For a
No,
Tupac
I'm way
guy.
bigger Biggie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Illmatic is a pretty like it's not even that dope. It's just that's the thing. Is it dope because is it dope because the album was dope?
I should have asked it. It was just an off the top question.
Like
so
the
I
Chronic.
didn't ask it right.
The Chronic is a classic album cover, but it's not like dope. It's because the album was so dope.
A lot of the West Coast motherfuckers have like super iconic shit. Like Tupac got, or Ice Cube. I don't know why the fuck I said that. Ice Cube's got some really hard covers.
That's an interesting topic. And then you gotta take the next step of, is the album cover iconic because the album is iconic, or is it iconic just?
Oh, I would say 100% more because the album is iconic. So that's why I shouldn't have used the word iconic, but like, who just got fucking dope album covers day in and day out? Album in and album out. Who the fuck's got dope album covers?
Man, that's
I'm trying to think of like the best.
The first person I can think of off the top of my head is Kendrick's album.
Kendrick has good ones.
Fucking
dope.
fire.
Yeah.
Kendrick is like, he's got great videos, great album covers. Like he definitely takes his time with the art.
Yeah.
Along those same lines, Drake has terrible album covers and terrible videos.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I do.
I just think they're like pretty, like just whatever. I don't think they're bad.
I don't think I guess it takes a lot for one to be bad.
Yeah, he has too big of a budget for them to be bad. But I really think that there's no.
But like,
thought
think of the
put
Thank Me
into-
Later one, and like even Take Care of him sitting there.
It's just crazy because
fucking
I think that one's kind of dope.
views with him sitting on top of the.
That one's not.
It was like it was literally so photoshopped.
Yeah,
like,
it was just
That shit was-
proven to be photoshopped.
Yeah.
Like not even in scale.
But I will say, then you look at like a if you're reading this, it's too late. Not dope, but also super smart.
It's,
like in the day and age of the internet age and that font and whatever,
Yeah.
like super not dope as art,
No.
but smart.
I think that's the biggest play you can make these days because album covers literally mean nothing. It's literally something you see on your screen, so it means nothing, like on your phone.
Right.
However, if you're reading this, it's too late. Was like you could recognize that shit anywhere.
That's why I say smart.
Exactly.
Like
So
not
that's
dope on its
smart.
own.
That's
but
a good way to
smart.
play it. Yeah,
Bro,
for
that's
sure.
part of the reason why when I decided I was going to do all these singles is why we decided to do what we did with them is album art. It's like you said, back in the day, it was a big deal. Not as much these days, but let's do something that's recognizable.
Doggy
like
style.
yeah,
Fire.
when somebody sees like the ink blot thing, they will think of me.
Yeah.
And it's cool, but it's not like every song I put out, I got to come up with some new fucking cool thing for it to go in people's ears and out the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you can make it as unimportant as you want at this point in the music game, I feel like, but if you're reading this, it's too late. It was a great example. That was a good one to bring up because if you can somehow make it something that people
Unique.
can recognize and like people can utilize somehow, like mad people made memes off that shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's fucking smart.
Yeah.
Well, like Kanye's first 3 albums were like utilizing the bear on all that shit. Like
that was his thing. Yeah. Like,
yeah, and like
he created a signature.
I feel like a lot of artists took that, like creating like whether it's like a mascot or a logo or a type of font that is recognizable throughout a collection.
Yeah.
Is like a thing now.
No, yeah, and that's smart. Like it's the internet age, the social media age of creating something that's gonna catch on in a meme world or whatever.
And you can keep like reproducing that in different ways.
Go.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Daggs just texted me that he had to piss for his Trust me, we've gotten through this many times without you.
Barely.
It is interesting though, like
just put a toilet right in here and just
that'd be pleasant. It is interesting though when you even think about the album artwork and like right when Daggs brought that up and you're like, okay, what's some iconic album artwork, right? I immediately, there's certain ones that are a little more iconic just because of like they've been utilized in different ways, whatever. But you're pretty much jumping to classic albums.
Well, yeah, because
so at the end of the day,
prerequisite,
well, so at the end of the day, it really is like I think of like the Illmatic cover, and it's like that cover's like whatever.
A lot of the old school ones are.
But whatever. That's what I'm saying is if you make a dope ass album sonically, that whatever your album artwork is gonna go down as iconic.
Well, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, the Parlay album is still people's Twitter emoticons that are
and that shit is whack.
That are our fans. But it's basic.
No,
it's not even basic, like it's not dope, but it's what it means. It's what it's like.
When I've always preferred like a little more basic album covers. Like not that I'm not down for some out of the box, like trying to really make some shit dope. I've always personally not liked or not necessarily liked having myself on the cover, which but also from a marketing perspective, that shit is probably smart to have yourself on the album cover.
At least for your first couple albums.
For anything. Yeah, like you get your face out there. But just from an artistic standpoint, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that. But at the end of the day, marketing and business is the bottom line. So.
I've never really been a big fan. I've always been a real big fan of the minimalistic type of stuff. I really like that.
Yeah.
The more minimalistic, the better to me. And to me too, when you're talking about minimalistic, I feel like it shows through when you come up with something super dope. Like if it can be minimal and really dope, then to me, to my eye, that looks
for sure
way better than anything else.
With that.
Like
I think low key, like not just saying this, the Parlay cover is super fire.
You do?
Like just the gold on the black and just that's it.
Yeah.
The font. I've always thought that shit was
the
tight.
Faded like background, like casino-y type of like thing.
I don't think it needs to be like if you can pull it off, it can be
clean.
dope.
Yeah.
However, you could fuck that up so many ways.
But by doing too much.
You could have a font that's just too recognizable. You could try and make it like a movie. You could do this and that. Like it's got to be original. But
the messed up thing too is like
cleanness.
If you do like a basic ass album cover, right, and it's clean. If the album is garbage, it's gonna be looked at as an amateur cover.
Oh,
It's just gonna look basic and whack. If the album is fire, it's gonna be a classic cover.
Well, yeah.
So like.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about the album
that's
art.
What I
it's
mean.
about
like
the music.
Yeah, you can do what you want, and yeah, if you just took it to an art critic and you're just judging the cover or whatever, but a lot of it just comes down to the music.
No, it's not. I don't know. To me, it's just I feel like a lot of people try to do. This day and age, it is. If you try to do too much, then it almost is amateur.
It's corny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I almost feel like it's just a result of how technology has grown as far as like everyone knows how to use Photoshop. Everyone does all of this stuff. So anything that used to be dope back in the day is like, we've already seen this shit.
Right.
We've seen all the filters we can see. We've seen all the little effects that we can see. That just made
me think of something. When do you guys think, because they always say like fashion and things like that go in cycles, right? Do you think we're bordering on... Okay, so when we were in middle school, high school, like early high school, but middle school, whatever. Baggy clothes were in. Long hoop shorts, things like that. Now we're obviously in like a tighter jeans, tighter fitting clothing, more form fitting. And the biggest thing I'm starting to see come back around is you used to see the hoopers with the short shorts. Then you went through the really baggy stage. Then you went back to the normal. And now we're starting to see some short shorts fly into hoops with these college hoopers.
Yeah, the college dudes.
Do you think that shit's gonna come back? Like actually come back where like it's a thing?
Probably not as short, but probably like a lot shorter, I would say.
And do you
I wouldn't be surprised with that shit either.
And do you think in fashion we will see baggy clothes come back within the next decade?
In our lifetime?
Within the next decade.
Ooh, I don't know.
Next decade? I don't know.
I think that's fast.
I already see some trend-setting people that like to wear different shit going back to the baggy stuff because everyone's wearing the tight stuff now, and they want to be different.
This is what pisses me off. Fashion low-key pisses me off more than anything, especially like hip-hop fashion. I don't give a fuck what you're wearing. Really, I don't. Like, if you're putting out a dope product, as in your music, what you're supposed to be known for, period, that's good enough for me. If you want to do, I don't give a fuck what you're wearing, as in, like, wear whatever the fuck you want, and I'm not going to care about it either way. I don't give a shit what you wear at, like, an award show versus, like, your everyday life versus anything else. It's just not my fucking thing. It's so fucking annoying to me, like, how on like the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Like, I literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And
you know what's
like
fucked
you
up,
gotta
though?
be there, like, type shit.
That's
you know
the thing.
What I'm saying?
That's
like,
what's messed up is I'm with you. I even like my next song I'm about to put out tomorrow. Well, when this airs today. I even discussed that of just image and shit like that. And I'm with you. I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, I wear sweatpants and hoodies and hoop shorts and whatever. And when I am seen in public, I'm wearing that shit too.
right.
Like,
exactly.
It just is what it is. And I guess if you're a person that is, as a person, you are really into fashion and whatever, and you want to do that, cool.
That's fine.
But because you're famous and make music or whatever, then you have to get into that world. Yeah, I think that's whack. But the unfortunate thing is, people buy into that shit. Dude, like, I swear to God, if I, from day one, had some weird-ass hair and was tatted and whatever, like, if I just looked like a character, like different.
6ix9ine?
Whatever. It would benefit my career.
No, I know.
People buy into shit that's
Dude,
different.
I had
like,
this shit written down. I might as well just ask it right now. What? Like, do you think you have to... So, I got to put this in context after I ask it, because I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly. Do you think you have to live the life of your profession? Okay? So, as in, for my whole life, like, I felt like at a certain time, like, when I hooped, which I played basketball in high school or whatever, I was all into, like, the basketball fashion, like constant hoop shorts and whatever, you know, like shoes and whatever. That was the big thing. And then when we, like, made music, I felt like I had to, like, live a certain way almost, you know, like I had to live like a party lifestyle and, like, do this and do that to make this type of music and that shit. Do you think that, like, that has to be a part of it? Because, okay, so here's this side of it. A personal trainer, which I have that, I feel like you do have to live a certain lifestyle, like, to get people to buy into your scheme.
Sure.
Okay, so, like, I can't be out just constantly, like, being a fuckhead nonstop and like never be healthy.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of motherfuckers do, even that I know.
Yeah, if you see your personal trainer out here just drinking beer and fucking eating pizza all day
Nonstop.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with politicians. It's like no one wants to vote for somebody that's not
Right.
Yeah.
perfect on paper.
Well,
But do you
don't say
think
no one.
Well, until
Yeah.
but do you think a motherfucker that's like lives a different lifestyle can like make rap music, as in he make, and it's dope rap music, let's say, like we like the songs. Do you think this dude has to fucking live in the city
So
per se?
I guess I have an interesting take on that.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy to get caught up in it, as in, especially when you're young, the people you look up to are like this.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't think you even necessarily make a conscious choice that I have to look like this or whatever, but you just end
You
up
want
liking it because the people
Yeah.
you look up to
Yeah.
are like that.
I can see that.
But the interesting thing is, I think, let's say a 19-year-old decides he's going to go be something completely different than what's out there. But it's him. But he's not going to conform to what you think the shit is. He's got the best chance to be the one. To
Yeah.
like make it big.
I would
Because
take
people like different. People are
Yeah.
drawn to different.
eventually.
Eventually.
Because
yes.
that's the thing is, it's if you don't conform, it's a slow burn, like super slow.
That's why I say to be the one, because yes, you can conform and be one of many, and maybe you'll make it, maybe you won't, based off if your shit is dope, whatever.
Yeah,
But if you want like to be the one, yeah, being yourself and being and being different than what is expected of you is like look at how like even the we've even talked about this before. What if when we really started getting into music, if we decided to go, because this was like almost a decade ago, if we decided to get into country music, right? But we still had our tastes and fashion and whatever, but we were in the country world. Would we be accepted right away? No. But would we have the best chance of standing out and making an impact? Absolutely.
Well, I asked this because like originally like people are constantly talking about Post Malone. He's like a culture vulture and all this bullshit. Maybe so. I don't know. I don't think so, really. Like, I just think this dude is talented at making music, period. Like, I think his rockier type songs are fire. I think his countryer type songs are fire. And I think his hip hop songs are super fire. I just think this dude is dope as fuck at making music.
I hate the
Agreed.
I hate culture vulture.
And, like-
I hate even that word.
Right.
I
So
don't
why do we
like
give
that.
a fuck like what lifestyle this motherfucker's living if like literally he's here to put out music, right? Like that's his job. That's how he makes his money. I don't really care as long as it doesn't come off like to me it comes back to that seems like who Post Malone is. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Like he just seems like
if you watch
he's
any
that
Post
dude.
Malone interviews,
Right.
the dude is a genuine dude.
I don't like the dudes that are doing something and you can tell that's just not who the fuck
It's a
they are
character.
like every day.
It's a character.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's where it pisses me off.
Yes.
yeah, and that's
But that's why, like I said, if you watch Post Malone interviews,
That's who he is.
that's who he is.
That's straight up who he is.
But I could understand first impression, people
Yeah,
saying
for
like
sure.
whatever, culture vulture, whatever
Hell
term you
yeah.
want to use. I could understand that first impression. But if you actually get to like see who this artist is, yeah, no, that's who he is. And he's dope.
Yeah.
And he happens to be white and he makes hip hop music.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
they don't
even
like that.
the type of hip hop a lot of these.
No, it's
motherfuckers
totally
make,
different.
like,
it's
it's-
like his brand of hip
Right,
hop.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
dude, that's a good example of what I'm saying outside of fashion, but even just the music in general. Like, could you imagine like 10 years ago even hearing some of the like country twang Post Malone has on his shit and whatever, and that being super popular and hip hop coming from some white dude that looks like Post Malone.
I think
but now the different shit is popping.
Yeah. I think the original question I asked 10 years ago, there's no chance. Like, you really got to live the life.
No. Yeah.
Like, you got to be like Jay-Z.
Yep.
Like these motherfuckers that are like really in the game. Like, they're really living the life and shit. I just think music has evolved and profession has evolved in general. Like, I have a day job. That doesn't like have anything to do with who I am outside of my day job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, athletics and that type of stuff is most important to me as far as like something that I work for. And it's for really no reason.
No, yeah.
However, I have a day job that I go to every day and I work hard at it and I'm focused on it and I like do well at it, you know?
The thing is, I think part of these things just come with life and experience and age and wisdom. Like, I even look at myself 5 years ago. Like, I have a completely different mindset on things now than I did 5 years ago. Like, I even, like, nowadays, we've talked about it on the podcast before. We're middle-class artists. Like, we make a living off our music, but we're not rolling in it. Right. I consider certain days when I'll have a shitty creative day, or I'll have a week where I'm just like, dude, you haven't really done shit, like, music-wise. It's just shit. I'll be like, should I go get a part-time job? Should I go get a whatever just to like make some money and fill some of my time?
Sure.
Like, it's a thought. And but like 5 years ago, I'd have been like, nah, man, I'm making money making music. Like, my image, like, I can't be doing that.
Exactly.
But now I'm like old enough where I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
Fuck my image, dude. Like, who cares?
No, that's all. It's a fake thing.
As long as you're putting out a quality product,
like,
and it's something that you care about and it's up to your standard. Who gives a shit?
And actually, this day and age, what's cool is if you have that core fan base or anything like that, they fuck with the real you.
Yeah.
So I believe, I could be wrong, I believe the fan base we've built, if I were to go get a job, like a other job, and still be doing this shit, nothing would change. In fact, if anything, they would fuck with me more.
Yeah. I would think so.
Because they're just like, I'm trying to support Pac and I like his music. So if he's out here working some other job, he needs more support.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I don't care. And like I said, it comes back to, to interrupt, but what it comes back to is if you were on your songs, like talking shit about like people that had day jobs or whatever, or like talking shit about like how much fucking bread you're making, like you're the man, blah, 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 then that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you had one yourself.
Right.
But if you're not on there doing that and you're just staying true to yourself, like, I would feel the same way. Like, I support those motherfuckers because, like, they just have a passion for doing that. And if they happen to be making extra money on the side or making an extra living or even doing enough to have a full-time living from that.
Yeah.
Fair. That's like, something I struggle with a little bit when writing is...
I mean, you gotta talk your shit.
No, but that's the thing. Like, so rap is like a braggadocious, like, whatever genre. And so I struggle sometimes because I'll openly say to anyone, no, I'm not rich off this shit. But at the same time, I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to like make what we've made out of this shit and making a living and like now even being in the hometown and working with other artists and whatever. And so I will sometimes on certain songs and whatever, maybe I'll have lines about like, whether it be money or success or anything like that. But it's always coming from a pocket of doing it as your own boss and doing what you love to do. It's never like I'm richer than the next man.
No.
It's like if I make $50,000 a year, but I'm my own boss and I do what I love and whatever, compared to the guy that makes $50,000 a year working for somebody else, I think that's pretty fucking cool.
No, yeah.
That's where it comes from. It's not like I'm fucking rolling in it. I'm a millionaire.
What I was gonna say though is, I always laugh at myself because I always think, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to like, you know, mix a song or produce a beat or anything like that. And then you're always just like, man, like I got nothing done today because all I did is sit in front of here being uninspired and literally did nothing. And then you get to thinking like, should I get a job? Like, should I do that? And right now I have a job, like a part-time job. And I'm sitting at my cubicle being like, man, I could be doing a lot doper shit right now. When I wasn't thinking that like a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's that thing where rap is so much so like the younger man's game is, and therefore the younger man's mentality of work.
For sure.
You don't get work until you're actually older and you know what you're working for. Like, work is work, man. Like, I used to laugh at my dad for coming home and me asking, how was work, Dad? It was work.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that until you're fucking old and you know you've been going to work for like 10 years and it's the same shit every single day. And you have to take the same shit from your boss every single day. And that's just life. Like, these little 22-year-olds that are rapping now, that are rapping about not having a day job and everything like that, they have no fucking idea what work is. No fucking clue. So I don't want, I take pride the same way that you do as far as like, how the fuck are we even able to make a living off of this in our own way? Instead of being on this pedestal of like, we have to be to this level in order for it to even make sense. No, you make a certain amount of money and then it makes sense because you're mature and you can actually say that. That's it.
Yeah. And you're always like, and I guess that's the cool thing about when you have your own shit too, is that you get to like always wake up and strive for more. And like you have, there's not a ceiling.
You do
on
that
it.
in every profession.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like at my job.
You should.
Yeah, exactly. At my job, it seems it's in small increments, but it's really not, you know. It's the same thing as everything else.
It should be everything else.
Like weight training, or it's music, or it's an actual day job, or whatever. You know, it's small things, and it's just small. Oh shit! I'm looking back 3 years ago, and I made some gigantic.
Damn, we did a lot of shit. Yeah,
and it can be in so many different aspects. That's why people that are just negative in general just are crazy to me, because it's like, take a step back and look at shit. They have negative people, to me, have one fucking guideline, okay? And for most people, it's like money. That's their one guideline. Am I making more money than last year?
Right.
Maybe you are, maybe you aren't.
Right.
But if this negative person's not, they're pissed and they haven't gone anywhere and things are shitty and they're fucked and this and that. Like, think of all the other shit. Your fucking product has improved. The quality of your product has improved. This and that. Like, different things can be progress.
I'll be candid as fuck. I'll be candid as fuck. The Specktators have, over the last however many, every year we've really been making money. It's increased every year. But this year, because of lots of investments we've made, whether it be in artists or in this office space or other things, we project, hopefully we're not wrong, but we project to maybe not make as much this year. But there's a reason for it. And it's also investing in our business. And yeah, like you said, we could look at it and be like, damn, down year. But no, you're trying to put it.
See the improvements in other areas.
Exactly. And like, we'll see what happens. But yeah, people gotta learn to like take the small victories. And I'll even say this, people get so caught up in the now and never want to go through the process. So when we had our first meeting here at the office with our artists, and we debated going back and forth on this, on whether we should do it, but and stop me if I've said this on the podcast before. I don't think I have, but we printed off a sheet that displayed, I believe it was 3 or 4 years of ours. 4 years of ours. How many songs we put out, how many shows we did, how many videos we put out. Was there anything else? I think it was those 3.
And how much money we made in each year.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. Or what we were working, our jobs. Yeah, how much money we brought in through the Specktators.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did we also put on there like that we were like whether we were going to school this many hours, working this many hours.
What we were doing, we put how many hours we were going to school, how many hours we were going to work, and how much money we made through the Specktators.
Yeah. So all those things, 4 years, we put that on this sheet of paper. And the reason we went back and forth on like showing it to the guys is we didn't want it to come across like, look what we did. That's not the point.
Right, for sure.
The point though is we know while we were going through this time, and you were going through half of it with us, is none of it actually really felt like we were doing that. This is really making some impact.
Exactly.
But then when we sit back and look at all those years, you're like, holy shit, we did a lot of stuff, and no wonder we're here.
Right.
Exactly.
And so
there's some years where I was catching myself being like, I was taking credit for half of like what we were doing. And when we actually looked back and documented it, I was like,
bro, I think you'd be surprised because you were part of some of those years. I think you'd be surprised how many shows we did.
Oh, yeah.
We did so many. Like there were multiple years in a row where we did 20-some shows every year.
Yeah.
Where it felt like we were just performing locally like a few times a year, but it was like 20-some shows.
It's crazy. We definitely... I think that's so fucking dope, too, just to think about in retrospect. And you've talked about this on these podcasts, but just like what we put into those shows, too. It wasn't just like we went out and performed a show. It was each fucking show.
Tons of prep.
Was so much went into that shit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like each one of those shows was like a month of just fucking grinding, knocking on doors, like just being out in public on campus, running into people, you know, friends of friends type shit.
Yeah.
We would go to the bar, and obviously it was not simply for the reason of meeting people. We'd just be at the bar anyway, but like we'd run into this person. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah. They'd introduce us to their friends. Hey, yeah, you guys should come out to the show. Blah, blah. And then we would stay on them, and then all of a sudden we'd have like a packed ass show.
Well, it was
like,
super
this
funny.
Shit was not fucking.
It wasn't overnight.
Hell.
The other day I was because Apollo was just like, how do I get people to my shows? And I was just like, well, you know, video promotion, like you go out and you do all that.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I've done all the video promotion. And I was like, I don't think you have. And I was like, let me show you something. And I showed him the Don't Go to the Show video that we did. And he's so young, like he had no idea about any of that stuff. And it's private on YouTube now, like you can't even find it. And I showed him that, and he was like, dude, that is genius.
Yeah.
Like he was like, it's funny, it's kind of corny. It's like to the extreme of like
something
almost being too corny, but and to this day, but you know friends bring that video up,
but
and
that's
they're like,
what makes it stand out, right? Dude, like it's what we even talked about. It's about being different and standing out. Like
you got to go the extra mile.
If it was just a typical show promotion, like it would just fall in line.
Well,
with
that's what he was telling me. Is he was just like, I put together the show highlight video, and like I've done that multiple times. It's like, yeah, because that's what every artist does.
Yes,
that doesn't stand out,
right?
You have to get outside of the box.
But yeah, you got to do more. And yeah, it's just that's the bottom line that I just keep thinking is, and I've said this many times in our meetings and stuff is if you can look back on your year and be like, wow, I did a lot of shit, I guarantee you will be further ahead.
Yeah.
But if you look, and I've had both. I've had those years, and I've had the years where I can look back on a year and be like, damn, I didn't really like do a whole lot toward what I want to do this year. And it shows.
Yeah.
Like, put the work in and it will come out. Whether you get the breaks to really go that next step, maybe you will, maybe you won't. Like some people get luckier than others. I'm not saying you 100% control everything.
Right.
But you will be better off for the work.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and the alternative is like both me and Daggs know, and it's literally just like you go to work every day and you have to do stuff every day. Like there is not a day that you're not doing anything when you're at work. You're doing something. And to put that in music terms, like that's what makes me think, man, like every time I get in that rut and I just sink into the place where I'm just like, well, I don't have to do anything today.
Yeah.
I need to start thinking about that alternative of, or I could be at a cubicle hating my life and not hating my life, but not being in control of what I'm doing, working for somebody else instead of working for myself and just putting in the same amount of work that I'm supposed to be doing anyway.
That's the key.
It gets too misconstrued with music nowadays that you get some pass for not working half of the days.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because you're creative, you don't have to work.
Yeah.
The rap industry is so fucked in a way because of that type of shit to me. Like, no other genre of music is like that at all. It's like rap in general.
In what way?
In a million ways, but in particular, like let's say country artists, a lot of their songs are like about going to their day job, whether they have one or not.
Yeah.
Like it's about that.
Yeah.
Or like pop songs that are about like relationships and like this and that. And rap is literally like a lot of a rap is just about bragging about like being like in a way a piece of shit, like
the culture,
just like doing drugs
Yeah.
and like just being like a scumbag in a way, and
a
like,
misogynist,
you know, not
a fucking
necessarily all of it, but like a lot.
No, a lot of it. It's the culture surrounded
and
around
it's
it
really
is
insane.
like
It
that's
just-
cool.
Right. And I get why people eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Because like not many people get to live that lifestyle. So it's like,
and
oh,
that's the
these
tough
dudes
thing
are
too, is
fucking
like
dumb.
it's
like,
that and that
But-
type of thing is like, okay, if I'm gonna go lift weights or I'm gonna go play a hoop game or I'm gonna go whatever, I want to hear that shit. Like like that's the shit I want to hear.
Exactly.
So it's weird though, because it's like it is these people talking about their lives and whatever. But and from my perspective, it ain't talking about my life, but it's what I want to hear. It's weird. It's
super,
a weird dynamic.
It's crazy. It's really wild.
Yeah, but
to
I
me.
think there's a time and place for it, but it doesn't necessarily need to translate into your like everyday real life as far as like
not
you
necessarily.
can still be an artist and like, dude, like we have tons of authors and everybody that written murder mysteries and all of this stuff. Have they ever murdered anybody? No.
Yeah.
But you can still fucking write about
I
that.
was just about to
there's
bring
no
that up. Also, on the other side of that, like country artists all have their songs written for them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of pop
many
artists
them,
and stuff
pop
like that.
artists.
Yeah.
Every other genre has their shit
5.
written for them, except for
Wow.
Draymond.
What happened? What'd they call? Kick? What'd they call? Offensive
That's it.
foul? Travel? Was it Draymond?
I didn't even see
it's
it.
Draymond.
Warriors were down 2 with 5 seconds left and turned it over, I think. Foul on Draymond right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Draymond.
Wow, Butterfingers.
Oh, slick hands.
Eric Gordon, he's a good free throw shooter. This is about to be game.
This game already.
Dude, Warriors about to be down 3-2.
That's crazy. Surprising.
Very surprising. Damn, I don't fuck with Houston really. Like, I don't
I'd
hate
rather
him,
see Golden
but
State win.
I don't like CP3. I think he's got
He was
little
talking
man.
shit to stuff earlier.
Really?
When you weren't watching.
Damn, I think he's got little man syndrome.
He shimmied and
Oh.
Steph started laughing.
Oh, dude, Warriors need to win this series. I'm so mad.
I kind of fuck with it.
No, dude, he's got little man syndrome, bro.
He's a sweet bowler.
He's the hackingest defender of all time.
At least he defends, bro.
I mean, yeah, he's a good player. I hate him. That's game. 3-2 Rockets.
Wow.
So it's going back to Golden State for game 6. Golden State's going to win. And then it'll all come down to game 7 in Houston.
I like it. I like it a lot. You think it's for ratings?
I think both yes.
Media?
I think
Conspiracy?
I think both conferences are going to go to game 7. I think Cavs are going to win game 6 in Cleveland. I think Warriors are going to win game 6 in Oakland.
Why is Timberlake rooting so hard for Houston? Is he from Memphis?
It's probably where he made the album In the Woods.
No, he is from Memphis, isn't he?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Why is he rooting for Houston? Have you seen many Houston games before?
No. I'm agreeing. I'm saying, what is him being from Memphis
No, I
have
wasn't
to
saying
do?
that it did.
Yeah,
I
okay,
was
yeah. Damn, dude, I'm pissed. Warriors are blowing this shit. I want Warriors Celtics.
Yeah, me too. I do too, for sure.
All right, well, I guess it's not over till it's over.
No, it's over. Celtics. Fucking Houston.
Have you guys ever seen James Harden without the beard?
Yeah, it's real.
He looks crazy.
Super fucking weird.
All
You
right.
want to take questions?
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here, man. It's
All right.
11:30.
Let's take questions.
What's up, guys? It's Sean from a small town here in New Hampshire.
So I swear to.
I was just wondering if
Swear to.
any had awkward experience with a girl or a girlfriend, maybe like high school or college. That's all I have for today. Thanks for the podcast. Peace.
Did he say an awkward experience with
An
a
awkward experience with a girl or girlfriend.
Yes.
Tons, but I don't think anything we're trying to talk about here.
I've never had one.
My
ever.
girlfriend, my girlfriend's 2 rooms over watching the game.
This is awkward.
Yes.
So I had this one awkward experience where this guy called in and asked me to,
No. He said specifically about a girl or a girlfriend.
No, I don't. I mean, I've never had any other girl or girlfriends besides Glow, so
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now who you fooling with that whack shit?
I don't see any other
Wow.
girls.
That's tight. I didn't sound like his
Did you say that even sounded like his ass?
said that didn't even sound.
I was like, did you think he said it on the mic or something?
Damn, that was dope. All right. We only got 3 questions.
Moe-T, you're not gonna
I
answer
narrowed
that?
it down. What?
You're not gonna answer that one?
Man, answer what?
I'm trying to think of any good
The one he just asked.
Oh, I mean,
awkward
I can't.
experiences with girls.
I've had so many that it's not.
Wow, player.
I don't think that constitutes that.
Oh, they just showed Chris Paul shimmy.
Did he?
Oh my! I'm so mad.
That shit was fun.
That's infuriating. What a fucking tool.
They only have 4 players in the picture.
Oh my goodness.
You know how much shit I would talk if I was any type of professional athlete? Any type of athlete.
Oh my goodness, dude. I'm so mad right now. I can't think about anything else.
All right, next question.
Hey, what's up, Mo, Pac? How y'all doing today? This is Aaron from Piedmont, Oklahoma.
So,
I just wanted to know how many times or how many takes it takes for you guys to completely finish a music video if it takes you more than one try at all. Thank you for answering my question. Have a great day.
You're Mr. One Take.
No, I mean, it's always more than one. Even the one take videos.
Even when it's a one take?
Yeah,
video?
like this probably took like 7 or 8 tries. But then ones that aren't hashtag quote unquote one take videos take tons of takes. So
Well, and a lot of times they're like days.
that's what I'm saying. It's like different locations, whatever. So yeah, the one take videos. The thing about the one take videos is
they're shitty. Just kidding.
Okay.
They're fire. For sure, fire.
Comment FM if Moe-T for fuck Moe-T if he needs to chill with the sound effects.
Jeez, I felt like I did a good job, except for that last one.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, you be going overboard sometimes.
You literally just did that on the last podcast.
No.
Yes, you did.
Stop, dude.
Okay.
What was I even talking about? Oh, the one take. So yeah, so when we do the one take videos, it's hard to say whether it's like easier or harder to shoot. It's just you have to get one take that's perfect. So like even this last one, Aiden and I shot for like this. You're walking by like a restaurant and there was one take where some guy just gets right up behind me to go into the door and it's right at the end of the song. It's like, okay, we just filmed for 2.5 minutes to get this whole take and it was perfect and then you ruined it at the end. And
He meant to do that.
And we might have like fucked up the timing of it one time. Like we wanted to get in front of the graffiti wall at this time and turn the corner at this time and you fucked it up a little so you got to redo the whole thing. And so it's easier in the sense that all you got to do is get one perfect take and you're done.
Right.
Because you're not cutting anything. But it's harder in the sense that like that take has to be perfect, and one little thing can fuck it up. But then, so that can take however many takes it takes to get that one shot, and then the other ones that just take tons.
Me and Q used to have to record an entire song all the way through to get it to do it.
What do you mean?
Like that simple as that. Like we used to have to record the entire song at once because we
For a
didn't-
video?
No, for a fucking
song?
Like when
What?
we first
How do you even
started,
do
because
that?
we didn't know like
That you could
how
cut?
to edit.
Oh,
Like we just didn't know enough about it.
Wow. So you
Dude,
guys would
that's
like
real.
jump in.
Yeah, like straight
dude,
up. Like
that's a
swap.
next podcast topic of embarrassing things that I had no idea were even possible in DAWs.
Low
that-
key, like a lot of our shit,
Yeah.
like it didn't sound that bad. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
besides just the
Because you made it work.
overall quality
Yeah,
of
you
things,
make up
but,
for
like,
it.
We made that shit work.
I released a whole project in mono because I had no idea what stereo was.
Right, exactly.
That, you got to start somewhere, man.
Straight up.
Dude, that's embarrassing for me to even say, but
Oh, you're stupid.
I had mono one time.
Was good.
yeah.
Xavier. Yeah. Anyway, so I just saw
Xavier.
like A Quiet Place, right? And like luckily like the theater was empty, so like I had both armrests to myself.
Lucky.
But like when like a movie theater is packed, which one do you usually check? Like like if you have somebody on either side, you usually go like with the right or with the left? Because I'm sure like cause I think I usually go for the right, but that's just 'cause I'm right-handed. But what if like there's somebody person next to me is a lefty? Does that mean I have the left? What if the person to my left is a righty? So do I just not get one or just like?
Why would you
Yeah,
go for the right if
so-
you're right-handed? Then the
Yeah.
motherfucker's in your
Just
shit
crazy. Good looks.
when
good
you're
vibes.
trying to grab your drink.
That
And
was just-
shit.
Wait, so he's saying
See,
if
Wait,
you
wait,
have,
wait.
so I think what he's saying, I could be wrong.
He goes to the right because he's right-handed.
No, I think what he's saying, and I could be wrong, is if there's, so let's say you had like either two seats. Let's say you
get
had,
it.
let's say you had two seats, and there was somebody on this side and somebody on this side.
Yeah.
Which seat are you
I
going
get the
for?
question.
Oh,
But he said he would go to the right because he's right-handed.
Yeah.
I guess which way?
No,
is
I
right?
thought-
And I'm with you.
I
like
thought
if you're
what he
right-handed,
meant-
I would go with the left because then you're leaning toward the empty seat.
Exactly.
I thought what he meant was when you're walking into the theater, do you go to the right side or the left side?
No, because he's talking about people sitting next to you. He's talking
Yeah.
about like who's left-handed and
I
right-handed.
thought that was the next part of the question.
If that is, then that doesn't relate to each other. Yeah, that shouldn't relate in any type of way.
But yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, that wouldn't make any sense if he was just.
I'm
Definitely.
actually
go to the
like,
theater side.
I know he's being extra, but I'm
Unless
not
he's
mad
looking
at these
at the
questions
seat
from
from the
Xavier.
back.
No,
Like,
not at all.
They're making me critically think.
I'm saying I'm mad because why the fuck would you?
If you're right-handed, you wouldn't
right-handed,
sit
why
where
would
you're
you
leaning
sit
into
Maybe
the
way
maybe
you're
he's
right-handed?
maybe he's talking
Yes.
about though like facing.
Yeah, he probably.
Yeah,
is.
he's saying that
Fucking better be.
He fucking better be here. He's dead.
that would make sense.
We'll see ya. No, I would definitely agree with Daggs, where I would rather be sipping my frozen Coke icy
Terrible flavor.
with a big jumbo bowl of popcorn
Smart.
on the side that no one is on.
Right. Exactly.
So I want the empty seat where my right arm is.
Pretty much the go-to movie game is you pack a backpack, a small one. You put 6 beers in it, maybe 5. You put it under your.
Because you killed it on the way there. Like, why do you got 5 beers?
Well, you put it under. You put it over your t-shirt, under your varsity jacket. It makes got his ass. Look at Steph.
Oh my god.
You walk in, you sit in the back, and then you have beers for an entire movie. Or you put half pint vodka in your Slurpee.
Remember when you went to go watch when I was living in Phoenix and you went to go watch the Ninja Turtles movie by yourself and you
Hell
had a bunch
yeah.
of beer and you were live texting me through the
And that shit was fire.
It was.
The fucking snow scene was so good.
I had already seen it and you were like, yeah, this shit is. I was like, yeah, that was dope.
Gotta have friends even when they move away.
Is that it?
That's it.
This has been a long pod, I feel like. We got the women in the other room. We got a
hour and a half.
here.
Pretty
Oh,
average.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
pretty average.
Dags, any last words
Um,
before
Not much. Just, do you. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you different.
Don't let the media get to you.
That's straight up, dude. In anything.
That's my PSA.
They don't have to
Okay.
directly affect you to get to you.
It's just rude.
I think that's why podcasts are so big now, because they're not
They're not
mainstream
affected.
media. They're like it's just people speaking their minds and opinions
Without cuts, without like different things. That's real. That's why I like listening to
You guys chop the
podcasts.
fuck out of these, don't I know.
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
for sure.
You guys chop the fuck out of these.
Oh my god, yeah. Moe-T says so many like fucked up things that he just. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't hear that, and then he's like, yeah, I cut it out.
I offend so many races on here that it's just
Jeez.
That'll be cut out.
We
that was a joke.
We're gonna golf.
God.
Are we
Seriously?
9?
9 a.m. Moe-T, you can make one.
I'm down like a pessimist.
I'm golfing with
I'm
Mom
down,
and Dad.
I'm down like a comforter.
You golfing with your dad?
my mother and father.
Well, it must be nice. Didn't
Both
get that invite.
Yeah. Paint walls.
They don't want to see me on the
Paint
golf course.
walls. What are you doing? Paint walls?
They don't want to see me.
All right. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Do not.
All right. Outroing to Packy's song, which will be out
This shit sucks.
on the same day this
Dax
podcast
hasn't heard it. Don't
drops.
listen to him.
What?
This is terrible.
Dax hasn't heard it, but he actually will love this one.
I know. I think I've heard it.
Right. It'll be out tomorrow
I've heard it. For sure.
at 3.
AKA today. AKA probably right about the time you're hearing this.
Correct. It's called Not Up for Discussion. You can find it everywhere. Where?
Brand new premiere worldwide.
Holy shit, where'd you find these shits?
Holy shit, where'd you find them shits?
Ain't no worries, I'm like fuck it. Wear my hoodies out in public, they don't like it. Bitch, I love it, ain't no worries. And it's not up for discussion. Not up for discussion.
Mike D'Antoni looks like he has a mustache, even though he doesn't.
He does. That's fucked
I don't
up.
fit in the box. I've been trying to kick in the door, cause
Had
motherfuckers
one for
wouldn't
so
get it
long.
if I knocked. It's a PSA, GOMD. I'm an MC first, y'all just celebrities. I can't fake the funk, it's real or it's bunk. Same place I was raised, middle of the day drunk. Could've got a new click, rather be with day ones. Could've had it. They said you need an image, and I said you looking at it. I said you looking at it. Yeah, ain't no worries. I'm like fuck it. Wear my hoodies out in public. They don't like it. Bitch, I